It is, what day is it? It's the 17th of February. It is a um, Wednesday morning here in Sydney, Australia. And that's really quite funny because I was just about to say that the energy is very scattered on the planet at the moment. So scattered, in fact, that I don't even know what day it is. That's really too funny. If you don't know who I am, my name is Karen Turpin from karenturpin.com. I'm a spiritual coach specialising in assisting healers, light workers, and spiritual entrepreneurs from to really hone down on what is their uniqueness, their purpose, and to really help them to take their message out into the world. So I think how I see the energy, how I sense the energy on planet right now, as I mentioned, it's very, very turbulent because there's an awful lot going on, as I'm sure you'll know some of it, maybe all of it. I don't know if anyone knows all of it. But I really feel that it's time to really focus down now, narrow down our options in a way, so that our energy is not scattered all over the place, and so that we can really find our kind of true north alignment and set sail in that direction, really, really commit to our path and our purpose. And I feel that the time is here now that we can no longer be complacent or non committal. I really feel that it's time to stand up for what we believe and what is the truth for us, at least, because, of course, everybody will have their own perception of what's really going on the planet. But the way that I perceive it, the way that I have read the energy field for many years now, we're at this point on the planet. We've moved into the age of light, but it's kind of like it hasn't fully landed yet. And I still see that many people are kind of on the edge there. They haven't fully stepped and committed to one path. They're kind of teetering on the edge, waiting to see what might be their best option. But that's not a particularly empowered place to be. And at this time, with everything being revealed on the planet as it is, and the agenda playing out on the planet as it is, we really can no longer afford to, just sit back, acquiesce to what is coming along on that movement of that wave. It's time now for us to choose which wave we want to be surfing on, not just get carried along because we didn't make a decision. So people are talking about the Great Reset and heralding this as the answer, when in actual fact, personally, what I think we'll find this is another version of the false ascension matrix. It will suggest to us that that everything is good here, that this is the answer, that we just follow along with this path and everything will be fine. And then I do believe that people that follow along with that will come to a little bit of a uncomfortable realization in due course, just as many people who followed along on the false ascension by following false gurus and teachers are possibly now finding that it wasn't all that they thought it was either. So really, I feel that what we need is a truly a spiritual reset, definitely a recalibration of our energy, because there's still this opportunity to hop off of the false ascension timeline and get onto the original organic ascension timeline. That is still available to us, but we really have to stand in our truth now. We can't, as I say, just float along on this wave anymore and be really complacent about it. What I personally feel, and this probably won't be a popular thing to say, but hey, I say things like that sometimes. What I feel personally is that we're seeing many light workers, healers, starseeds, they don't want to upset anyone, they don't want to say the wrong thing. Political correctness and all of that jazz is really gagging them from actually speaking their truth and making a stand for what they really believe. And so what I'm seeing is people that I've known for 15 or 20 years within the spiritual industry are becoming really flaky, and they are actually getting carried back downstream with that wave of complacency and, that hidden agenda that's still going on the planet, and they're aligning to that. So we know that many of our spiritual teachers that we've had over these last 30 years, many of them have revealed now, and to those of us that can see it anyway, have revealed that they are in alignment with a very dark force, and they are sharing a message that is not, that is false, quite honestly. And so for those light workers that are still following their message, they're going to kind of be dragged along in that wave as well. So I really feel this time now to let go of some of those things that we've attached ourselves to over the years. Just let all of it go, let it drop away, and come into the truth that is within you. It's really an absolutely fantastic time to make a difference in the world. But we have to come into alignment with the organic truth. And if we're following false leaders and, taking everything that they say as gospel without running it through our internal truth filter, we are getting very misled. And that's kind of what I see happening in New Age and spiritual circles. I've talked about this for years. You've probably heard me say it before. Unless you're new to me and you don't know anything about me. But I have been speaking on this for 20 years. I've got hundreds of blog posts about this very type of thing. And as you can imagine, 15 or 20 years ago, this wasn't a very popular story. But now we're hearing it more and more. Lots of people are coming out and talking about this kind of thing. And it's very... I wouldn't say it's comfortable, because I don't like necessarily what I see has happened here, but I can accept it. I can understand what's happening here, and so therefore I can talk about it very comfortably. I'm really not shaken or rattled by what I see revealing, in the world at the moment. But for some people, they're seeing and hearing this kind of thing for the first time. And I remember long time ago now, 20 years ago, I remember being shocked to discover that there was a lot of manipulation within the food industry in terms of getting various additives and chemicals in the food and things like that, getting that passed through government and onto the shelves. I was still of the belief that if the government allowed people to sell it, then it must be okay. It must be good for us. And wow, that was a rude awakening at the time, to discover that our government doesn't have our best interests at heart. And the things that you can buy on the shelves sometimes really, really damage our health. And that was really shocking for me at the time when I was first waking up to that. But we're at the place now, 20 years later, that people are hearing this for the first time. They don't know what's in their foods, what has been causing, their health conditions. And then we add on to that all of the other stuff, that we've been talking about, and chemtrails and fluoride in the water and vaccination, and these things that maybe you and I have known for 20 years. Other people are hearing this for the very first time. And it's really shocking to them. And we're at a time on the planet where so many people are waking up to these things right now. That's what we're feeling as very scattered and unsettled energy on the planet. Because if you remember back to when you have first heard these things, it's really unsettling. There's a kind of dismantling process that happens in your consciousness when you come up against that or come to that for the first time, and it really rattles you. Now, if you remember to when you first heard some of that stuff, you were probably shaken, maybe for days. Maybe you felt really anxious inside and your nervous system was really unsettled at hearing that news. But imagine that now with a massive amount of people like we have on the planet now hearing it. You know, hundreds of thousands of people are waking up to the control that they're seeing all around them, governmental control, and they're researching, because that's one of the benefits of technology. We can find out all of that stuff now, providing it's not censored on Facebook, of course, but it still exists there. And if you are have a mind to search for the truth, it's all there. You can find it. So now we're in this situation where hundreds of thousands of people, all at the same time, are researching this information and potentially going into shock and horror over what they're finding. So this expression about draining the swamp, we're in that right now. That's been going on already for a number of years. Those of us that were onto it back then have been having this drip fed to us maybe over these years. So we're not quite so rattled. We're much more stable in our energy body in regards to what is revealing. But that's new for many people. All of this talk about children being rescued, etc. I mean, that's awful, horrible to us that even know about it. But imagine if you had no clue about these controlling bloodlines on the planet. Imagine if you're hearing that for the first time now, and there's a wave of hundreds of thousands of people all hearing it, all going into some kind of a fragmentation or a dismantling process as they struggle to get this into their consciousness. And that's where we are on the planet right now. So, you know, don't take it personally. Let's try to see the bigger picture of what's going on and then why we're feeling that. Because if you've been aware of this information for a while, you're probably an empath too, and you're sensing this energy that's going on around you. Don't take it personally. It's not necessarily that you're falling apart. Maybe everyone else around you is, and that's what you're feeling. So there's many layers in this, you know, and on various Facebook groups to do with empaths and starseeds recently, I've noticed again larger and larger number of people are going into this dismantle process, this breakdown process, and you know, they don't understand that it's from the greater field that they're feeling it. It's not so personally theirs. So anyway, that was meant to be a quick update. I've kind of talked for longer than I planned. I often do that. So anyway, I hope it's kind of been useful for you if you are struggling through this dismantle process and you'd like a little bit of support. Come into my Facebook group. It's called Source Light Connection. I'm happy to talk with you more there. If you need some personal assistance, I still offer energy clearing and activation sessions, all kinds of things that I can help you with in that way. You can find the details on my website, KarenTurpin.com. As I say, I'm happy to help you, so just reach out if you're struggling with this. And if you're ready to, as a light worker or as a healer, to really step up and really fully step into your mission and purpose now, I would also particularly like to hear from you, because that is, you know, something I'm really passionate about. Helping, I have been known as the teacher to the teachers, so I would love to help you to step up to your next level, because I know that you are here also to impact many, many people and, you know, shine your light, because we need you now. So also reach out, let's connect. I think it's time for our community to come together, because that way we can have a greater impact in the world, sharing our truth and sharing our light. Anyway, the world needs us. It's our time to do it. Stand in your truth, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.